SSNIT can also move space of employment. The more unemployed people we have, how can we guarantee the future of the SSNIT? Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Sheikh Arimi Al-Shaib. Do I have any other hand at the back? I want us to do it in a block. If there's any other comment, DG will take notes. Yes, so there's a hand at the back. Can you take the microphone to the back for me? Yes, thank you so much.
Okay, thank you. My name is Abdul Latif. Mr. DJ, as part of your digital bouquet SSNIT, we encourage our employers and then the informal sector to make payment through mobile money. SSNIT has the plan to pay pension through mobile money, especially those whose lump sum or pension is not that significant, where they have to travel all the way to the urban areas to open bank account, pay minimum deposit, which is sometimes even more than the money they are going to receive.
Thank you. I think we can even tie that to say what your relationship with LEAP is, the livelihood empowerment. I think you can connect that if there's any connection at all. Okay, do I have any other question before we take this? Okay, DJ, I think you can take this for now. Yes, let me give you this microphone. Okay.
Umar, thank you very much. I would address the first issue of social assurance, income disparity. Whenever we are doing indexation, we actually factor that in. So if you take a look at our indexation last year, whilst the average was 12%, there were classes that were done in excess of 30% because we're conscious of the vulnerable group being the people at the lower end. How it's done, we would agree on the indexation for the year. A portion of that is committed to percentage increases, and a portion comes in as flat. So let's say it's 12% indexation, and 8% is done based on percentage on the previous level. The remaining 4%, that quantum amount is divided equally. So when someone gets, let's say, 40 cedis out of in addition to 300, that's a much higher quantum than someone who gets 40 cedis on the 200,000 who earns 200,000 per month. So some of those dynamics come into play. And we would always welcome conversations on making much more improvement in the matrices that we use for some of those analyses. But even as of today, that is always factored in. The future of the scheme, we are conscious of the fact that the future of the scheme is dependent on 4 variables. 1, we need to expand coverage. Whilst over time, the private sector actually today accounts for 2/3 of our members. Of the 2.1 active members, 1.3, in excess of 1.3 million is from the private sector. The government sector is now about 680,000 members. So clearly the private sector contributes more in terms of members to the scheme. We cannot make it sustainable if we do not create additional jobs, and also for us as an institution to sign on new members, because we need more people to help us improve on the dependency ratio. Our dependency ratio as a country isn't bad. International conventions, 8 has been accepted as good enough, and we are around 8. But for the kind of economy we have, and the fact that quite significant numbers are in the low tier category, it's important for us to improve our dependency ratio beyond the average norm accepted globally. And that requires us as an institution to try and sign on more members and help mobilize more than we currently. And that has informed our decision to extend and improve on the number of our touch points. Because the more it's easier for people to interact with us, to register and join us, the more we can then collect on their behalf. It's the same reason that informed our decision that beyond bringing convenience to our members, let's go digital. because that makes it easier for people to join us, and that makes it easier for people to contribute. And we are also using those same digital means to reduce our cost to serve. Because if we can improve on our cost to serve, the more we collect at the least cost, we are building a bigger fund that can grow and make the scheme more sustainable. Then there is the question of the digital bouquet and whether we can start paying pensions through mobile money. We've done some test runs on that. We're still validating the security systems that we want to put in place. Because let's give you an example. Currently, when we pay pensions and it goes into an account and the member doesn't go because that member possibly isn't with us in this world any longer, we engage the banks, they refund the monies back to us. It's much more easier for people to have access to people's mobile money wallet than to their bank account. So we are trying to put in place measures to ensure that whilst we want to bring convenience and expand the way we serve our members, we are also protecting the scheme in the long run. We have said we are going to rely on the age of 72 down. Yes, God can call you at any point. But instead of 72, if we can make it convenient for people to renew their certificates, let's bring it down. Once you go past 60, on the anniversary of your birthday, you go through the system, you are verified. It ensures that when we go onto mobile money payments, for instance, the risk is minimal because the systems are in place to protect the scheme and ensure it to deliver what it is that we are required to do. I think I've picked the 3 questions. Yeah, thank you. Oh, sorry.
Thank you, DG. So do I have other comments and suggestions from the audience? Okay, I have one here. Technical people, you owe me a microphone now. Is it ready? It's not ready. Okay, let me go around and take that myself. Okay, good.
Okay, so thank you very much. My name is Samuel Osemensa. So I want to find out, is there any technical challenge as to why we cannot go after the remaining 85% of employers who are not trying to make payments? Because if I cast my mind back and I ask some of my colleagues and some individuals that I know, most employers are not paying their SSNIT. If you complain, you are fired. And the kind of money that they are paying, it's something small. So I want to find out, is there any challenge? And the second one, sometimes you go for programs and you end up getting fantastic ideas. We have to do this, we have to do this, we have to do that. I want to see SSNIT at 65 with all these fantastic suggestions and ideas being implemented. So I want to find out from you, are we going to get steps from today, or is it going to be the usual, we have to do this, we have to do that? Thank you.
Thank you so much. You are tying the man down now, making him commit. Okay. Yes, please.
Mine is a contribution. Like Prof spoke to us about the fast youth. And SSNIT is going into the next 60 years. And it's going to have the membership being the fast youth. Now, something is happening. They are likely to increase the informal sector because most of them don't. When we're growing up, you want to be a doctor, you want formal. They don't want formal. They want fast money. So then they sit in their homes and they have, so as long as he has a YouTube channel and he's making money, whether he went to medical school or he went to, your parents can push them that go and say, no, I'm making money because he's looking at money against what you want. So if we don't take time and we don't use AI properly to do our predictive analytics, we are not going to have contributors. Most of them too are working for organizations outside the country. And they don't care about SSNIT, right? They are consuming now. And they are doing the calculations the DJ said about banking, for which, you asked, we watched the video. And they think in their mind that when they save their own money, they'll be better off. So we need to be very critical about the next crop of people that we think we are assuming they are going to be contributors.
Thank you so much. Yes, there's a hand at the back. Yes.
Thank you very much. I'm Musa Suleimana. I want to ask on benefit adequacy. What can be done, at least to bring those who are low earners as compared to high earners in terms of pensions? Data shown that close to about 200,000, the higher earner gets about close to 200,000 a month, and the lower earner pensioner gets about 300 Ghana cedi. So what can be done to be able to bring those lower? And then also I want the Director General to talk about maybe how can the scheme be sustained, the sustainability measures. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I would be interested in knowing the person who earns so much, which industry they are in, so that I also switch jobs. There's someone on the left. I saw a hand somewhere here. Yes.
Thank
so
you.
Please let us know which industry that is, if it's media.
Okay, I'm Edmund Beecham. Right, so mine has to do with legislation. We know that SSNIT works on legislation, but I'm looking at a situation like a cyclical unemployment, where we have, like we had COVID. I remember the current president had intimated that if it was possible, people were out of jobs, but they are contributed to SSNIT, and they were without income for some time. Are we looking at the next 60 years where we can change the legislation so that in such situations, people who are contributors but may lose their job for a period can at least be taken care of? Thank you.
So some insurance of a kind, which is not after retirement but before. Okay, let me take the last question or comment for this batch.
Okay, so sorry for coming back. There's when we talk about perception problem, in the pension industry, because SSNIT has been the only institutions most people know, every problem in pensions today is attributed to SSNIT. And into the future, there's some evidence that today, when people pay tier 1, which is SSNIT, they don't pay tier 2. In fact, about 80%, some studies we did with the African Center for Tier, because SSNIT has a Saturday court, but nobody enforces the second tier. So when that time materializes and people don't get their second tier, they will even begin to blame SSNIT. Because you see, part of people haven't even gotten the idea that there's a change in scheme. And in addition to that, when the survivors take their benefits from SSNIT, they don't even go to the tier 2 schemes. They don't go because they don't know about them. How is SSNIT working with MPRA and all other stakeholders? Because eventually, when problem comes, because people only know SSNIT, they will blame SSNIT. Thank you.
Thank you. Just to add something to that, I met someone in the men's room, and he said he thinks the law should be changed so SSNIT takes over tier 2 in addition to the main tier. And the reason, and this is the person's idea, in addition to what you have said, that, listen, the enforcement bit is difficult. And if you come to company A, you can't determine whether or not they are contributing for tier 2. Because if they are not with Pensions Alliance Trust, possibly they are with Petra, and you cannot determine which one they are. They can tell you they are doing it, you can't prove. But if it is SSNIT, there's only one SSNIT. You are either paying or you're not. That's a proposal. That's a law matter. I don't know whether you have a comment on that.
Umar, thank you very much. Let me pick the question on whether in difficult moments like COVID, you can go and rely on your tier 1. Currently, the law doesn't allow that. SSNIT or tier 1 has been structured as a defined benefit scheme. So it's really not a function of your total contributions that is defining the final pension out, but the average of your best 3 years, as well as some other considerations. So in a scheme that runs like that, it will be difficult to say when you are not working, it should be possible for you to come, for you to be given some support in that regard. And this is a pension scheme, really. So you need to qualify properly. I also wanted to address the concern around even, you know what we showed, only showed the economic numbers or the investment numbers. Imagine a situation where the person who opted to do treasury bills, unfortunately, becomes permanently incapacitated. His ability to even and paid pensions right from that period. And that's how come we have a situation where the youngest pensioner is only 32 years. Because the scheme is structured and allows for such additional benefits to come to our members. Now, there was the first question on, why we are not able to reach out to the remaining 85. It's largely because of the informal sector play. When it comes to the formal sector, we are above 80%. It's actually the informal sector numbers that brings the averages down. And that's why I commended PDG Tenkrai, for instance, for the seed initiative. Because we really need to get the informal sector joining hands with us and getting to the stage where it's not just about legal or regulatory compliance, but the individual, as we say at SSNIT, afanidachi personal, and is living up to his own protection. We would continue advocacy, we would continue engagements, we would expand reach such that you can easily reach out to us and engage us. We will make it easier for you to make payments to us, and we will continue to invest your funds wisely. But it's important that when it comes to the informal sector, some self-ownership also comes out, and we would call on the media to be our partners in that regard, whilst we continue with similar engagements like this to tell our story and to sell the SSNIT value proposition. The likely increase in the informal sector, absolutely. That's where there are people today who sit in Ghana and work in the States. For those people, you need to really convince them with your value proposition and let them understand why they need to protect themselves. And in protecting themselves, they are part of a group, and there's a certain collective good that comes out of that as well. So we will take on that advice, we will enhance what it is that we do, and ensure that we get better at it. Then there is a bit of benefits, adequacy or inadequacy. It's a function as well of how much you earn and how much you contribute because of what you earn. There's a limit to which you can seek to use just social equity to increase distribution. I recall 2 months ago, I went to the board at PDG Odumisia, and I said to myself, it's unconscionable that there are pensioners who earn below the poverty line. And I use the World Bank definition of poverty as anybody earning less than $2 a day. So I did a simple analysis and I said, oh, but this one, in a month, this is the increase. In a year, this is going to be the increase. So I was pretty upbeat and said I was going to lift the least paid pensioner to above the World Bank definition of, so that there will be no pensioner that falls in that category. When we looked at the actuarial numbers, I quickly had to revise notes, step back and tell myself, this one, I have to take my time and use the indexation distribution to, as much as possible, do it over a period of time. But that radical approach clearly was going to create other challenges that were not practical and that were not for the benefit of the scheme. We would have struggled. Okay, so for those that earn lower pensions, please, let's ensure that when we are negotiating, this practice where we want most of our entitlements to be in our allowances. Please, allowances are tax deductible just like your basic pay. However, it is not deductible for pensions. So really, you are better off pushing as much as is possible to the basic so that you get a full benefit for the work that you do. My brother Umaru was asking where the maximum pensioner, the sector, it would interest you to note that he has something to do with media, and that's all I can say. Thank you.
It's not my type of media, that's why. You know, there are different types of media, so I'm sure it's a different type. Anyway, thank you so much, DG. I think it's dealt with all the questions. Can I take the last round? Are there more comments or questions last round before we wrap up? If not, there's someone who is shy to take the micro. Okay, there's a special question that was sent out. Yes. Please give the microphone to him. Do I have any other hands up? Okay. Before you ask your question, my team at the back, are the lunch coupons being shared, please? Okay, please do that for me quickly before we move on.
Thank you. My name is Richmond Uswansa. It's not a question, it's a contribution. And I would like to urge all employers here, I think we have the Employers Association president here, that see SSNIT contribution as your responsibility. I think quite a number of employers are enjoying pension, if I may say so. And since you are enjoying, see your employee as his future benefit so that you do the needful. And to the employees, I would say that see this as your future benefit, or it means you should take your future aspirations or your future pension as the best of what you can. Don't let employers convince you that if you don't pay, you are even better off. Some are enjoying it and they will deceive you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Any other hand? Okay. Yes, there's one in the middle here.
Mine is also a suggestion. I think that what has come out clearly is that it's about time we innovate, and innovate, or we'll go down as an institution. However, I'm of the view that the way the Social Security law has been fashioned, we should look beyond what is existing. I am imagining, let's say, integrating said that we couch the law on the lines of how the DVLA law is crafted. There is no way, and I don't know how many SSNIT staff Ghana can employ to be on the ground to cover everywhere. So obviously, we need other institutions to help us execute the task. If we presume that SSNIT alone can execute Social Security in Ghana, that will not work. For instance, we can integrate and ensure that immigration service is part of the whole architecture. They have power to enter homes. Everybody in Ghana lives in a landlord's house. We can go to that extent when we fashion out the law in that manner. If policemen are not checking only DVLA for all people driving in Ghana, and they have the power to ask, are you having Social Security? Maybe a simple digital system to check. Then we'll be going somewhere. So we should look ahead and then see how best we can vary these things. Lastly, we should be careful not to allow any group of people to draw up a scheme for a certain group of people. Pensions are always state entities. That's where I will end. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. So, DG, there's someone who is shy to talk to the microphone, so they wrote their question and sent it over. It says, with the rise of digital work and remote employment, how does SSNIT plan to adapt its structure to include contributors who work for international employers but live in Ghana? That's a question that has come through. You can answer that in
Thank you very much. It's for such workers that we decided to enhance our digital channels from just they being or our touch points.
Thank you so much, DG, and we are grateful. You may please resume your seats. Let's give him
Thank
a
you
round of
very
applause.
much.
And if there's any concluding comment, I think you're done.
My concluding comment, please, whilst we put pressure on government to pay more for the Ghanaian worker, let's do same for the private sector as well. Like I said, 2/3 of our members come from the private sector. But it would interest you to know that the balance between total contribution for government and the private sector is about the same. Yes, so surprisingly, that means that government actually pays better on average than the private sector. And it's food for thought for all of us to ponder on. Thank you.
Thank you so much, DG. But I have one question. Now that we have done the symposium, the 60 years thing, we are still celebrating. There should be a party where there will be no talking, just dancing and music and food.
No, parties will come up. And we'll have a Thanksgiving service in
No, that one is
December.
church. We want, club kind of thing.
You want club kind of? Corporate affairs.
They will do it. Thank you. That's a directive.
That's a suggestion
DG
coming
has
up.
no,
Let's
it's a
ponder over it.
directive from the DG. Thank you so much, DG. Yes, please.
Thank you,
Okay.
brother.
I'm seeing a hand there. The DG has left the hot seat, so if you say anything, he may not be able to respond to you. No, not you. There's someone behind you, rather, who I saw. Yes. Yes, please give him the microphone. Let's hear from him before we... Who is helping me? Can you give the microphone to him? Yes. Yes.
Thank you very much. I'm George Fuga, a social and policy researcher. A few years ago, I happened to chance upon a report. And in the report, it says that if you look at the contributions that are coming in to SSNIT, and you look at SSNIT's administrative costs, maybe over the last 7 years, and you look at the benefits that they are paying to pensions, if you just oppose all these together, it looks like by the year 2036 or 2042, SSNIT will be out of business. So I want the DG to explain this to us very well as contributors and pensioners, whether SSNIT can be sustainable in the next few years or by 2036.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
He's been discharged, but now that you have brought him back...
Omar, let me pick this matter
Yes,
again
please
because
do, yes.
it's been a topical issue. We await the next actuarial report. The 2020 actuarial report raised some fundamental issues and advised us as a scheme what we needed to do to make the scheme sustainable, in the absence of which we could have some headwinds ahead of us from 2036 onwards. A lot of measures were put in place as recommended to address those gaps. We currently are in the process of having our current international actuarial valuation done. Hopefully by the end of the year, the Government Actuarial Department of the United Kingdom is handling that for us. Hopefully by the end of the year, we would have that information. And again, it will tell us where we are, what we need to do, and what will happen if we don't respond. I think the crucial matter is, how do you respond to the advice that comes in to build the scheme and make it sustainable? So rest assured, your scheme is strong, and your scheme is one that will not fail in the payment of our obligations. Thank you.
Thank you so much, DG. Thank you so much. So I'm trying to attempt to summarize how the day has been. The symposium that we are having here reflected on the trust evolution and explored how innovation and technology can enhance social protection delivery. The Deputy Director General spoke to us, the one in charge of operations and benefits, Mr. Sully Adams. He highlighted the need to harness new opportunities and ideas that can influence policy and strengthen the scheme. The DG, who just left here earlier in the morning, spoke to us, describing the symposium as a platform to shape the future of SSNIT. He reaffirmed the trust, reliability over 6 decades and commitment to building a stronger, more responsive organization. The first speaker, Mrs. Melisaki, reflected on SSNIT's evolution and the importance of compliance, posing key questions on employer compliance, AI risk, and scheme portability. The first panel discussion on evolution of SSNIT centered on strengthening SSNIT's culture, renewing staff commitment, public education initiatives. Panelists affirmed that SSNIT is never defaulted in paying pensions and continues to enhance the quality of life. The second speaker, Professor Bochi, focused on the issue of low contributions, public perception on SSNIT, delayed contributions from government, and the fundamental legal concept of trusteeship and transparency. The panel that reviewed his address, they talked about SSNIT becoming more efficient through the adoption of artificial intelligence, the use of AI. AI will not replace staff, but makes SSNIT more efficient. That's the summary. SSNIT must understand and define the true nature of the gig economy to regularize participation in the scheme. So the conclusion from all the panelists and from everything this afternoon and this morning is that SSNIT must be AI ready and ensure inclusivity. This is a summary of the day's event as captured by my team of rapporteurs at the back, and I think we should give them a big round of applause. And now that we have done that, we are closing up to the end. You people haven't given me feedback on the cheat, so because we're supposed to eat lunch. You know this hotel is owned by SSNIT, and they are giving us the best lunch. Last time I came here, the food they gave me, it didn't matter. I chopped the thing for 2 days. So we are going to do acknowledgements, and to help us do that, I'm going to invite our manager in charge of human resource development at SSNIT, Mrs. Rubio Forisom, to do that for us. Please let's welcome her with a round of applause. Where's our HR manager? Oh, great. Thank you so much. Please.
Thank you, MC. And permit me to stand on all existing protocols. As we celebrate 60 years of social security in Ghana, we pause to acknowledge with deep appreciation all who have contributed to this remarkable journey and to the success of the Social Security at 60 Anniversary Symposium. Our sincere gratitude goes to the Board of Trustees, management and staff of SSNIT for your exemplary leadership, commitment, and dedication to securing the future of workers and ensuring the continued growth of the scheme. Aiko, let us keep serving better. We also pay tribute to our former Directors General, whose vision and stewardship charted the course for the Trust's evolution. Your service and foresight have guided SSNIT through changing times and shaped its legacy of trust, reliability, and impact. We share your glory, and we do exploits to add to our collective gain. Our heartfelt thanks go to our distinguished speakers and panelists for your thought-provoking contributions and insights, which have deepened today's conversations and renewed our shared sense of purpose. Yedamwase. We also acknowledge with sincere appreciation all guests present for your time, engagement, and active participation throughout the symposium. Your presence and contributions have enriched the discussions and strengthened our collective resolve to sustain the progress we celebrate today. This wouldn't have succeeded without you. We recognize and thank our regulator, the NPRA, as well as employers, organized labor contributors, pensioners, civil society organizations, and the media for your ongoing collaboration and support. You are our real bosses. Thank you. To the media in particular, we appreciate the vital role you play in augmenting the national conversation on pensions and in advocating for continued reforms as the world of work and the needs of workers rapidly evolves. thank you, and keep telling our story. Above all, we thank the millions of Ghanaians whose confidence in the SSNIT scheme has sustained it for over 6 decades. Your trust remains the true measure of our success. To everyone who contributed to the success of this symposium and to the progress of the trust over the years, we say thank you. Wandanyeshi. Yedamwase. Mida Kwenami. And Mungode. Together, we honor the past, celebrate the present, and look ahead with renewed commitment to securing the future of social protection in Ghana. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Madam HR. Some of us will be bringing our CVs because we see that SSNIT is a beautiful place to work at. Thank you, Midakwe. God bless you all. And it's been a really, really a wonderful day. We started with God Almighty. We are going to end with God Almighty. To help us do the closing prayer, let me invite my brother, my slave, my boss, Sheikh Arimi Al-Shaib, who is with the National Chief Imam's Office. Please, let's welcome with a round of applause to give us the closing prayer.
I'll report you to the Chief Imam. Let us pray. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Almighty Allah, Almighty God, want to give you thanks and praises in a manner most befitting of your holiness and highness. Thank you for 60 years of care, nurturing, guiding and blessing all the workers, those who began to build the foundation of this very important institution, to those who currently now manage and also determine even the destiny and the future of this. Thank you for inspiring them. Thank you for everything that. Thank you for protecting them. Now from this time, some more work ahead of us. We ask you, Almighty Allah, to guide and guide the steps of the managers of this very important institution. Grant them your protection against any fear, concerns, anxieties, worries that beset and disturb in their thinking. But even guide them in the vision and the wish and expectations that they want to really make this institution a very booming and flourishing one in the interest of our own country. Continue to bless our country, Ghana. Protect us from all the mishaps that happens in other countries. Bless and guide the leaders of our country. And everyone who has been here to make a contribution, we ask you to bless him and guide us as we leave this place to go to our place of residence. And even the food that we take, guide us, and as we take that, nothing bad happens to any one of us. We want to give you thanks as we have done in the past. Even now we give you thanks. And even in the future eternity, we continue to give you the thanks. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Ar-Rahmanir Rahim. Maliki Yawmiddin. Iyaka na'budu wa iyaka nasta'in. Ihdina as-sirata al-mustaqim. Sirata alladhina an'amta alayhim. Ghayr al-maghdubi alayhim wala ad-dallin. Ameen.
Sheikh Mungudi, thank you so much. Thank you. I think we can give him another round of applause for that wonder. So there are 3 very important announcements that I need to make before we leave. The first one is that if you enjoyed what I did here today, please look for me on social media, Omar Rusanda Ahmad. When you hear people looking for MC, let them contact me. That's the first announcement. The second one is that we want to know what you make of this program and what your feedback on SSNIT generally is. Kindly scan the barcode on the screen and give us feedback. We really want to know what you think. The third and less important announcement is that there's lunch downstairs. They've given you a coupon when you're stepping out. Kindly show your coupon, take a lunch bag, and off you go. Meanwhile, let's network, let's talk to each other, and let's keep working and praying for our scheme that it remains sustainable. God bless you all. May we meet again in 60 years to celebrate SSNIT at 120. God bless you, and have a good afternoon, everybody. So there's a photo session that we're going to do next. The panelists, the DG, and the managers of the key directors of SSNIT kindly come up, and everybody else, let's join for a group photograph that I'll be doing upstage here. So if we could just come up for the photo opportunity, we'll be very grateful. DG, can you please lead the way? We want to take a photo. Sheikh, please join for us. And the key panelists and speakers kindly join. Everybody else, we're going to do a group photo. So that in 60 years, you come and identify your face in the photo when we come back for the SSNIT at 120. Or if I'm being overly ambitious, let's say in 40 years, SSNIT at 100. Yes. Or SSNIT at 75. All of that when we come back to celebrate. First one. Photographers, are we ready? Okay, great. Is the aperture and are we good? All right, can we, the rest of us, can we join, please? Let's stay, no, let's not move. Please, can the rest of us join? Yes. Please, let's join for the final group photo. Yes, everybody, please. And that